Hi everyone, it's John from What Up and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking San Diego Comic-Con 2023 and the Wheel of Time. Now what should we expect from them? Are they even going? That's what we're going to talk about today. Now if you're new to the channel and you don't know what we do here, we cover Wheel of Time show news. So pretty much anything and everything to do with the Wheel of Time. So we talk about here. If you like that sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like the video. Now, I'd normally give some sort of a spoiler warning at this point for the rest of the video, but we're not spoiling anything from the show or books at all because we're talking no character arcs or plot points or anything specific from either medium at all, just about San Diego Comic-Con, what we expect to see there, and a few other little tidbits that have happened in the fandom in the last few weeks. So, if you haven't read the books or watched the show, don't worry about it. I'm not going to ruin anything for you. Now, for those of you who don't know, San Diego Comic-Con usually happens about the third week of July, and it's massive. If you can think of a fandom, they are usually there pushing it, whether it be in film form, book form, anime form, action figure form, you name it, it's there. And it is an absolute amazingly huge celebration of geekdom. I have never been able to go myself because it is literally about as far away as you can get on this continent from me, but I've always wanted to go one day. And maybe I will one day. We don't know. But last year, San Diego Comic-Con had a big treat for us. They did a Lord of the Rings Wheel of Time dual panel. We got a few clips from the show that we'd never seen before. They announced that Season 3 has been renewed and they would be filming that. And a few other small tidbits about the show. It was a really neat panel, and it was a whole lot of fun for the fans. I covered it here on the channel, and I plan on covering this year's panel as well, if we have one. Now, there's been a whole lot of talk about the Wheel of Time going to San Diego Comic-Con, all because of the Twiiter of Chaos. Now, the Twiiter of Chaos is the official Wheel of Time Twitter account. Now, I know not every one of you out there likes Twitter or even has a Twitter account. I personally don't enjoy Twitter that much other than the Wheel of Time fandom. I enjoy kind of talking with the other Wheel of Time fans on there, talking with the official account, tweeting things about the Wheel of Time. That's pretty much all I do and all I'm on Twitter for. So, of course, if anything major happens over on Twitter, I'll talk about it here on the channel because I know it's not everybody's cup of tea right now, and that's completely okay because I totally understand. Now, the Twiiter of Chaos tweeted a few weeks ago an image. Now, this image was of who we presumed to be them sitting at a computer with their fingers on 4 keys on their keyboard. The keys were SDCC, so the fandom rightly assumed, I think, that they are going to attend San Diego Comic-Con this year, and it was sort of a little bit of a Easter egg that they're going to attend and maybe that they're going to show something there. But what was really interesting about this particular tweet, because, I mean, let's face it, them going to San Diego Comic-Con is not huge news because everyone kind of expects it, is this. Now, there's 2 things in this picture I want to talk about. The first is Twiiter of Chaos, clean your goddamn keyboard. Oh my god, it's gross. That's the first thing. The second thing is that medallion at the top. That medallion was given out at JordanCon 2022, and we know that the Twiiter of Chaos was at JordanCon 2021, I believe. So they go to the JordanCons. They're there. So if you folks are avid JordanCon attendees, you've probably rubbed elbows a little bit with the Twiiter of Chaos, which is really very neat. All right, so all video, we've been under the assumption that the Wheel of Time will be at San Diego Comic-Con, and they're likely going to give us something really cool. Whether it be a trailer or something else huge, it'll kick off the marketing campaign for Season 2, because Season 2 comes out September 1st, and it's the perfect time frame, right? Of course. Plus, we have that tweet from the Twiiter of Chaos with the dirty keyboard telling us that, yes, SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, and we have history telling us that the Wheel of Time has been there a couple of different times, and they're likely to be there again. However, Variety came out with this article today, and I'll have to link to it down below in the description box for you folks to read if you'd like, but the Cole's notes of it is this. Because of the writer's strike, a bunch of big companies are pulling out of San Diego Comic-Con. So we are not going to see Marvel, we are not going to see Netflix, we are not going to see Universal, we're not going to see Sony projects there. They're not going. And right now, as we all know, the writer's strike is taking Hollywood and pretty much everyone else by storm. What is happening is the writers are on strike for a couple of different reasons. When the models changed from television and movies to streaming, their compensation models and their workflow models didn't change. They didn't adapt. They didn't grow. So in other words, they're getting paid less for the same amount of work, or more work in some cases, and their working conditions are actually worse than they used to be years ago. So they're fighting for better compensation, better work conditions, just better overall job satisfaction more than anything else. And I am right there with them, in solidarity with them. I hope they get everything they're asking for. I am okay personally without receiving content for a few years, just to make sure that the people who make it are compensated appropriately. That's just me. Either way, it makes it incredibly difficult to plan events and marketing and cons when you have no creative teams, because they're on strike right now. Because not only are they not writing and making stuff or doing edits or doing rewrites, they're not promoting the shows that they're a part of. So the projects and shows that they're actively working on, they're not out there promoting it. And we've seen that with the Wheel of Time. We've seen very little promotion since the writer's strike has happened for the Wheel of Time, and that's on purpose. So in addition to that, there is a negotiation ongoing right now between SAG-AFTRA and the AMPTP for their contracts. And they may also go on strike. And if they go on strike, it's pretty much going to kill chances that anyone's going to show up to these cons, at least the big projects anyway, because they won't have anyone to go there. Because SAG and the Writers Guild at the same time, that's a big chunk of the entertainment industry, and it'll just be too hard to navigate these things without them. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not planning on going, because let's face it, SAG's not on strike yet. The writer's strike may be over by the time Comic-Con comes. We don't know. Maybe something magical will happen. And I have been told by a source close to production that Amazon is planning a small contingent to attend the con with some stuff for us that is easily canceled, if that makes any sense at all. So in other words, if SAG goes on strike as well and the writer's strike is still happening, we may not see any Wheel of Time content there, which is kind of in line with the fact that we don't have any official announcements yet. Now, this is all very up in the air, and we really don't have any definites at all yet. I personally am really hoping for a Wheel of Time presence at San Diego Comic-Con, including a trailer, a big reveal, a bunch of castings, a Q&A, Rafe Judkins out front and center talking about the show and showcasing his passion. I don't think we're going to get that unless some very drastic things happen in the next few weeks and the strikes all end and everybody's happy. But who knows? Anything is entirely possible, and I am really, really hoping that we get to see something at San Diego Comic-Con. Now, all of that being said, what do I hope we see? Well, I hope we see a trailer because, like I said, Season 2 is kicking off September 1st. I hope we see some castings, because there are some major castings for Season 2 that have not been released yet, including, yeah, you named it, Galen Tricand, my absolute favorite character. I really hope to see that one there. And I hope for another Q&A and maybe some more clips as well. I want some Q&A questions for the cast about Season 2, maybe Season 3. I want to see all kinds of things. My wish list is about a mile long. I don't know what we're going to get, but I do hope it's something. But I am also hoping for an amicable end to the writer's strike and SAG not going on strike and them getting what they want as well, so we can continue to see content. But if we don't, again, it's one of those things. It's for a good reason. All right. Now, before we end the video, I do have a couple of housekeeping things. The first thing is I want to thank you folks a whole lot. We are on the cusp of 2.5 million views here at What Up. A very huge accomplishment in my mind because I never thought we'd get 2 views when we first started the channel. And I will be on the Dusty Wheel this Wednesday to celebrate that because Matt Hatch, the Dusty Wheel, has also hit 2.5 million views. So we're going to celebrate together, talk about the news, and just have a good time. So I've left a link to that live stream down below in the description box as well. If you are unaware of the Dusty Wheel, if you don't know what it is, it's a live call-in talk show about the Wheel of Time, and Matt Hatch is the pinnacle of Wheel of Time fandom. So join me over there with him. He is absolutely amazing and a good friend of mine, and it's going to be a good time. Either way, that's this Wednesday evening. The other thing is I am going to start a new series of videos with Season 2 in mind. It's going to be a Season 2 survival guide. So for those of you folks out there who do not know much about the book series, maybe you've just watched the show but haven't really read the books, or have read the books quite some time ago and can't really remember some key points, I'm going to be talking about major cultures, major things, major activities that we may see in Season 2 in a completely non-spoiler way, which is hard for me, in order to prepare everyone for Season 2, especially those who haven't read the books or have read the books a long time ago. So watch out for that in the coming days. First one will likely come out this weekend, and I'll try to put a couple of weeks before Season 2 because there's a ton of ground to cover between now and Season 2. And I think you're going to be seeing a lot of videos from me because as long as the strikes are over, we're going to see a major marketing campaign happening for the Wheel of Time soon, and I can't wait for that. All right. Thank you all very much for sticking with me here to the very end. And here's to many more.